Top of the morning, Washington Commanders Nation, and top of the week, the Commanders are still making moves. Done are the days of crazy eyes, Vinny Serrato and Snyder running amok around Redskins Park in Ashburn, Virginia. Done are the days are Bruce Allen drunk ass gallivanting around the premises and then outing Scott McLuhan as a drunk because he doesn't want to do your dirty work anymore. Done are those days. Washington is now operating like a business savvy organization. Point blank, period. It started in January when we brought in Adam Peters, the belle of the ball of NFL executives, to come in and run our show as the general manager. And since then, we're going absolutely crazy. As we presently sit, the Commanders' front office includes Adam Peters, Lance Newmark, Eugene Shin, Dave Gardy, Brandon Sosna, and David Blackburn. Okay, so today they hired Brandon Sosna. Brandon Sosna was the pretty much the cap negotiator for the Detroit Lions, and he comes in very highly regarded and 31 years old, spent the last 2 years as the Lions senior director, football administration after a 3-year stint as the USC chief of staff. Everybody has nothing but positive things to say about the guy. Brad Holmes, Lions GM, he said his job, including Sosna, it's a year-round collaboration. He said they work side by side with the communication aspect, the players that they're looking to acquire at all levels, starter and backup. They talk about plan A, B, C, and there's just constant communication. He said the great thing about him is he's an elite communicator, and as elite as anyone I've been around. And he's a grinder. He's a grinder just like I am, just a lot of guys in our building. That communication. You see the emphasis on communication. This franchise has been in flux for quite some time because it always seemed like from the ownership down to the front office, down to the coaching staff, there's never been consistent communication. It always seems like we're on very different wavelengths and just trying to make shit work. That's not how things work in a relationship. There has to be communication on all sides, whether we agree or disagree. And I feel like Washington has failed and dropped the ball on that quite some time. They're bringing in an elite front office communicator. He's going to be here as our vice president of football operations. So he's pretty much new Rob Rogers. He's going to be handling strategic planning, salary cap management, and some more with the team. He's going to be our sole contract negotiator. And reporting to Adam Peters, Schefter says he will be the club's lead contract negotiator. He will see a number of football operation departments, including analytics, health, and performance. He will also play a major role in strategy around roster construction. We also double dipped. We signed another front office guy today. So we take a guy from the Lions who everybody is starting to envy, who's built a beast in their front office, and then we move over to that team a little bit north of us that thinks they're a part of the DMV, the Baltimore Ravens. We take their director of college scouting, David Blackburn, and he's going to be our new director of player personnel. For the last 2 years, he's been the director of college scouting, and he's been in the Ravens organization for 17 years. You see what we're doing? These aren't guys that are on the street. These aren't guys that are fired who have just been let go. We're pulling guys from advantageous organizations. We're pulling guys from the best run franchises around the league. We've pulled from San Francisco. We've pulled from Baltimore. And yes, we've pulled from Detroit. If you haven't been paying attention to what Detroit has been building there the last couple of years, they're building a monster. They were a couple plays away from a Super Bowl appearance this year. A couple stupid decisions and a couple drop passes from playing against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year. The Detroit Lions, a team I've watched go 0-16 before. A team who I've watched be worse than us a lot of years. We're pulling guys from great situations. This does not happen if Dan Snyder is here. This does not happen if Ron and company is here. Gone are the days of hiring golf buddies. We're not hiring guys just because we know them or just because they're friends of ours. We're not hiring guys to be our golf caddy. So just like Josh Harris took his year of evaluation, you can't just come out the gates firing Bammers. You got to give it a year. It's like you bought a company. You're not going to walk in day one and fire everybody in the fucking building. You're going to take some time. You're going to get a thorough understanding of how the day-to-day of the business works. You're going to have a short list of guys, and you're going to hire your guys to run the organization, and they're going to hire their own people. It's a ladder of sorts. But just like Josh Harris did, Adam Peters had to do the same. He took over the job in January. He can't walk in and clean out our scouting department in front office before the draft because this is a 365-day-a-year process, draft board scouting. You got to work with what you have until the 2024 NFL draft's conclusion. Draft's finished. Draft happened over a month ago. They are now fair game to clean house. And guys are leaving left and right. Guys are being added left and right. And we are filling out one of the more impressive front office groups in the league with emphasis on communication, with emphasis on experience, with emphasis on analytics. Washington is moving into the modern era of football and out of the stone age of boomers past. That Ron Rivera ran shit where he's the de facto president and hires guys like Herney and Martin Mayhew to be his lunch buddies and make decisions for him in the front office. Those days are over. I am very thoroughly impressed. I'm not sure Adam Peters could not have got to a better start as the general manager of the Washington Commanders. So welcome Blackburn and Sosna to the group. We are putting together an absolute squad, man. Like on and off the field. I haven't really touched on the schedule yet. I'm going to have a video and a stream coming up where I touch on the schedule, but I'm just loving what Washington's doing right now, man. I'm loving it. Like, this does not happen if we don't get these guys out of the organization. None of this happens. David Blackburn, the Ravens guy, another impressive addition. He was on the 2021 BART list of honorees. He spent 17 years highly regarded in the Ravens front office. He will be the new director of player personnel. I'm excited, man. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited. It's like the more impressive things that happen, it's like the more the expectations start to rise. Like, I look at the schedule, I look at how we fared in free agency and in the draft, and while I'm going in with tempered expectations because I do not want lofty expectations for a rookie quarterback. It's not a rookie coach, but it's his first year here as a coach. Rookie GM. 2024 is about establishing culture, establishing identity. What does Washington's Commanders football consist of? I've watched so many seasons pass here where we're just throwing shit at a wall and praying to God something sticks. I want to know what Washington Commander football players look like. I want to know what that commander tag means in football terms. And just like that, we could have got a new owner, a new GM, a new head coach, and a potential franchise quarterback, something we've searched far and wide for my entire existence. In one off season, you mean to tell me we could have got all of that in one? We've already won in 2024. We've already won in my mind, but we got to see what they look like come fall. And I have a lot of observations to make about that schedule. We're going to get into that this week as well. I've been on hiatus for some personal and medical reasons, but your boy should be back for the most part. I'm excited. It's an exciting time to be a Washington Commanders fan. Don't give a shit about the name. Don't give a shit about the uniforms. Let's talk ball. Let's talk about roster construction. Let's talk about front office because all I see is the needle pointing north, and I will not spend any time on any of that negative, nonsensical tomfoolery that takes place on Washington Commanders Twitter on a daily basis. Hashtag raise hell. Washington is headed in the right direction. Welcome all new front office members because Washington is building a fucking bully on the front office side, and it feels good. It feels good. It feels like the hires we've made are about to change our fans' lives moving forward. And I don't know if y'all seen over the weekend, our quarterback put his game uniform on for the first time at the NFL Player Association rookie debut. He had his uniform on. Him and Luke McCaffrey looked very dapper in the Washington uniforms. Seeing him out there at OTAs, you're hearing nothing but positive affirmations in praising and glazing of Jaden Daniels. All good things as we head into more OTA sessions and then mandatory minicamp in June before that 6-week slog until training camp begins. Washington is not done dealing and dealing. The moves continue. The Christmas offseason that was for the Commanders moves on with more pivotal offseason hirings. Welcome Brandon Sosner and David Blackburn. Welcome to the Washington Commanders. That's all I got for right now. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Bleed that burgundy and gold until the death of you. Until next time, Commander Rio, out.